Pooh Shiesty is no longer signed in 1017, and Gucci Mane no longer has his wedding ring and no longer has his watch. But Gucci, you can holler at me. I can get it back for you, bruh. Other than that, man, it is what it is.
Leaked footage tied to Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane is blowing up online, cutting straight through the flashy chains, luxury cars, and million-dollar record deals that usually hide the real tension behind the scenes. What's spreading fast isn't just gossip. It's a messy story that people claim exposes how fast loyalty can flip when street politics collide with fame and power. Behind the ice cream man image, insiders are whispering that things got way more calculated, way more cold, and way more personal than fans ever expected.
God passed it away, like to this day, I still ain't really got over that. It's my little cousin, to tell me welcome home, still messing with me up for real, so I ain't really got over it yet.
According to the talk heating up right now, Gucci Mane allegedly ran into serious behind-the-scenes pressure that spiraled out of control, leading to a moment where his own camp was accused of moving against him in public. The way this story is being framed, it wasn't random, and it wasn't sloppy. It was allegedly planned step by step. People online are saying the footage tells a whole different story than the polished label image, and once it surfaced, the internet started connecting dots real fast. This situation has been shaking the hip-hop world because it's not being pushed as a simple rumor anymore. Social media had been buzzing for days, with many calling it fake or clout chasing.
Friend was paid for. That 10K went to a flowers. Flowers high. We still got a casket. He getting cremated. He getting put up in a museum. Bitches would not be able to walk on my brother's grave. He ain't getting put in no ground. He ain't getting buried with no chains. He not getting no chains back. Period. At the end of the day. Receipts that and a bill uploaded. For the bill. And no receipts. Like I said, we only received 10,000. What the other 10 is, I don't know. But yeah. I'm at work with my feet up, making boxes.
But now fans are locked in trying to figure out what really happened and why it even reached this point. The date everyone keeps circling is last Tuesday night in Dallas, a night people claim changed the entire energy around Gucci's 1017 camp forever. Here's where the story gets heavy. Word is, Gucci was in a private studio session handling business when Pooh Shiesty allegedly pulled up unannounced with a small group of associates, bringing tension that could be felt instantly.
Talking about some long live him, bro. You ain't do nothing, cuz, on God. And you ain't getting them chains, cuz. You can't get them chains. There's no way you can get them chains. The minute that them folk called your phone to see if you gonna pay for the funeral, you blocked them. That's not real, cuz. On God, that's not real. I thought Gucci was rich, too. Ha, fooled all us.
This wasn't about paperwork, contracts, or publishing splits like some tried to suggest online. The streets see this as something deeper, something rooted in pride, respect, and how situations are handled when tragedy hits. People close to the situation say this all traces back to lingering frustration connected to the loss of Big Scare. In street culture, loyalty is everything, especially when someone young and respected passes away.
How SIT to be exact, this the faster key. They come with black keys, but when you got these keys, make the car fast. You unlock all the engine power. But this my first track out. Been one bad. I got this on Gucci Mane's birthday. Like he gifted me this at his birthday dinner. The dinner was almost over. We leaving out. I'm thinking I'm finna go get back.
The expectation is that leadership steps up fully, covering support, honoring the legacy, and making sure the family is solid. The claim floating around is that some felt that didn't happen the way it should have, and resentment started building quietly. Now the wild part. Alleged security footage is being hyped as the piece that puts everything into perspective. And fans are waiting to see if it actually confirms what's being said.
Pooh Shiesty is no longer signed in 1017, and Gucci Mane no longer has his wedding ring and no longer has his watch. But Gucci, you can holler at me. I can get it back for you, bruh. Other than that, man, it is what it is. Breaking news. Believe me, don't believe me, but y'all know when I break down street shit like this, I'm never wrong.
Whether this footage proves anything or not, one thing is clear. The situation has already cracked trust wide open, and the fallout is far from over. According to Big Scar's family, Gucci only sent $10,000 for flowers when they were desperate for much more to give him a proper send-off. Are we talking about a funeral that should easily cost $50,000 to be handled the right way, with dignity and respect? That's why people close to the family called the move cold, calculated, and straight disrespectful. Scar's sister didn't mince words either, saying my brother was worth more than $10,000, and that statement alone set the streets on fire.
Pooh Shiesty still ain't forgave Gucci Mane on the way in which he handled the whole entire situation. See, what a lot of people don't know is that some things are unforgivable to some people. Pooh Shiesty, Scar's death is one that he could not forgive. So Pooh Shiesty has not been rocking with Gucci Mane at all since he got out. And as of today, Gucci Mane, Pooh Shiesty went their separate ways. But the details on how that happened, whew.
What made it sting even worse was the explanation that followed. The word going around is that Gucci allegedly said he couldn't cover more because his wife's birthday was coming up. That line didn't sit right with anyone connected to Scar, and it spread fast. In the streets, that excuse sounded wild, especially when millions are involved, and it instantly flipped the narrative from business to betrayal. Now let's go deeper, because this is why the situation hit Pooh Shiesty so hard. Big Scar wasn't just another artist on the roster or a name on a contract. He was Shiesty's day one homie from Memphis, someone he came up with in the trenches.
10K ain't did shit but buy obituaries and flowers, boo. This shit ain't helping no obituaries and flowers, boo. 10K ain't shit. My brother was way more worth, baby, my brother worth more than 10K. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. Yeah, Gucci's son 10,000, and it was somebody else on another 10. So it was 20,000 in all.
When Scar passed, it felt like losing a real brother, not a coworker. So when the funeral situation didn't get handled the way it should have, it cut deep and turned personal fast. But this wasn't just about funeral drama anymore. This is where the story takes a darker turn. People close to the situation say Shiesty had been holding this in for months, letting it build quietly. By the time he walked into that Dallas studio, he wasn't there to record, negotiate, or smooth anything over. He was there to make a statement and move with purpose, setting up what many now call the boldest finesse of 2024. When Shiesty stepped to Gucci in that studio, the energy shifted instantly. This wasn't a friendly label meeting or a creative talk. He looked Gucci dead in the face and made it clear he didn't want to be part of the label anymore, and he explained exactly why. Voices got louder, tension got thicker, and the room felt heavy as the conversation turned heated. Gucci tried to calm things down, talking unity and keeping the team together, but Shiesty wasn't interested in smooth talk or damage control. He laid it out straight, saying, "You left my brother's family hanging when they needed you most, and you got millions, but couldn't properly bury my homie." He made it clear that wasn't the kind of boss he wanted to stand behind. After about 25 minutes of back and forth, Shiesty was done. He said, "I'm out, and this is the last time we're gonna talk," grabbed his things and headed for the door. But what nobody inside that studio realized was that the real setup was already in motion outside. While that heated exchange was happening, Shiesty's crew was outside in position, sitting in two separate cars, waiting patiently. Timing was everything, and they knew exactly when he'd walk out and exactly what their next move would be. That's when the entire plan finally snapped into focus, and everything changed in an instant. Pooh Shiesty's crew, often referred to online as the Choppa Gang, has long been talked about in Memphis circles as a tight unit that moves together and stands 10 toes down for their own. These aren't just random friends hanging around for attention or clout. They're known as serious associates who don't hesitate when loyalty gets tested. In Memphis, that name alone carries weight, and people know it's not something to play with. For years, their reputation has been tied to making bold statements and applying pressure when lines get crossed. When one person in that circle feels disrespected, it's treated like a problem for everyone involved. That reputation followed Shiesty as his money and fame grew, and many say it shaped how situations around him were handled behind the scenes. Now here's where things allegedly escalated fast. As soon as Shiesty left the studio and pulled off, his associates reportedly made their move with scary precision. No back and forth, no arguing, no second guessing. The energy shifted instantly, and the moment was over before anyone could process what was happening. According to the story spreading online, Gucci Mane was confronted and pressured into handing over his jewelry without any discussion. The first thing taken was his wedding ring, the one given to him by his wife Keisha Kerr, as a symbol of commitment and love. People close to the industry say that ring alone could be valued at around $200,000, loaded with diamonds and platinum. Then came the watch. His Patek Philippe allegedly lifted in seconds, estimated around $300,000. Just like that, nearly $500,000 in jewelry was gone in under half a minute. That speed is what really shook people, because it didn't look messy or random, it looked planned. And that's the part that had the industry whispering heavy. This wasn't framed as a chance encounter or bad luck, it's the way it's being told. This was calculated from the start. The studio confrontation wasn't just emotional. It allegedly served as a distraction while everything outside fell into place. The message behind it wasn't about money alone. In street culture, moments like this are about respect, payback, and letting someone know that certain situations don't just disappear with silence. Many believe Shiesty was making it clear that the big scare situation was in tea forgotten, and that feelings were still raw. After the dust settled, Gucci reportedly cut ties with Shiesty and removed him from 1017 immediately. The relationship was finished on the spot, no fixing it, no repairing the damage. But by then, the conversation had already exploded across the industry. People started asking serious questions. How did things get that close? Where was the security? How did an inner circle situation spiral this far? Label executives everywhere started looking at their own setups differently. That ass when YouTuber Seti Nash caught wind of the story and began breaking it down on his channel. Known for covering street news and hip-hop drama, Nash claimed sources stretching from Atlanta to Memphis. And once he spoke on it, the internet locked in instantly. When Seti Nash dropped his video breaking down the alleged robbery, the internet went completely nuclear, almost instantly. Timelines were flooded, comment sections exploded, and everyone suddenly had an opinion about what really went down. Nash didn't just repeat surface-level rumors either. He laid out details nobody else was touching, explaining how the situation allegedly unfolded step by step, and why Gucci was caught completely off guard. According to Nash's breakdown, the whole situation looked organized, fast, and shockingly clean. He talked about how the crew allegedly moved with precision, and how the moment happened before security or anyone else could react. But here's the key part that made people respect how Nash handled it. He was very careful not to directly accuse Pooh Shiesty of planning anything himself. And that wasn't accidental. Nash clearly understood the legal line. With Shiesty still on probation, directly pointing fingers, could have turned a YouTube breakdown into something way more serious. Some fans in the comments were wild, saying Shiesty had to be involved in every step. But Nash stayed smart and diplomatic, focusing on what was being alleged without putting anyone's freedom at risk. In this game, clout isn't worth prison time, and Nash moved like someone who knows the rules. Still, the streets didn't need a YouTube video to read between the lines. Once the story hit, sides were being picked fast. For those unfamiliar with Memphis street politics, the Choppa Gang reputation didn't come out of nowhere. People online started doing deep dives, bringing up years of stories tied to pressure, bold moves, and statements being made long before fame entered the picture. This wasn't framed as their first high-profile situation, and many said it wouldn't be the last. Other artists started chiming in on social media, some saying Gucci Mane brought this energy on himself because of how the big scare situation was handled. Others pushed back hard, saying crossing your former boss like that was a line that should never be touched. The hip-hop world was split right down the middle. But this story went way beyond jewelry, watches, or embarrassment. At its core, this was about loyalty, respect, and how people respond when tragedy hits. In the streets, how you move when someone is down matters more than anything else. Many felt Gucci learned a harsh lesson when artists and their families feel ignored during painful moments. Resentment doesn't just fade away. It grows quietly until it explodes. This situation exposed the darker side of label politics, where business expectations clash with personal loyalty and emotional bonds. When Big Scare passed, his family didn't just see Gucci as a label head. They saw him as family. When those expectations weren't met, the damage became permanent, and the rift couldn't be repaired, no matter how much money was involved. At the end of the day, this wasn't just about losing expensive jewelry or trending for the wrong reasons. It highlighted how power dynamics really work in hip-hop, especially when people come from the same struggle. When loyalty breaks down between street-connected artists and industry bosses, things can escalate fast. Now the spotlight turns back to Gucci. He's going to have to move differently, tighten security, and rethink how he navigates cities like Dallas. This situation showed that money doesn't make anyone untouchable. As for Shiesty, he's now viewed as a free agent with a reputation for not playing about respect, and the industry is watching every move closely. Because of all this, labels are definitely going to think twice before signing Pooh Shiesty. From a corporate angle, he now looks like a risk, unpredictable, emotional, and not afraid to walk away from a major deal. But at the exact same time, his street credibility just shot through the roof in a way money can't buy. In the hood, that move screamed principle over profit, and that message landed loud. This whole situation is already forcing label bosses to rethink how they deal with artists when real life hits. Funerals, family emergencies, and tragic losses aren't just side issues you can patch up with a small payment in silence. Artists want to feel like family, not just names on contracts or profit machines when times get dark. When that emotional side gets ignored, resentment grows fast. That's why a lot of people are saying Shiesty's stock actually went up, not down. He showed he was willing to walk away from millions to stand on his principles and defend his fallen homie. In street culture, that kind of loyalty carries serious weight, even if it costs everything on paper. Respect like that doesn't come from charts or awards. Now let's talk about what everyone's really been waiting on. It's the exclusive footage. Security cameras from that Dallas studio allegedly caught everything. The tense confrontation. The moment Gucci Mane realized the energy had shifted, Shiesty leaving the building, and the outside movement lining up perfectly. This footage is being hyped as the final piece that confirms what people have been debating nonstop. But before diving into that footage, it's important to slow down for a second. It's a serious street business with real-world consequences and legal implications. What the footage reportedly shows isn't chaos. It's calculation, timing, and discipline. People are saying Shiesty was playing chess while Gucci was playing checkers. And if the footage matches the talk, the internet is about to explode all over again. So footage is crystal clear, and that's what has everyone locked in right now. You can clearly see Pooh Shiesty's associates waiting outside in their cars, sitting still, watching and timing everything perfectly. You see them step out, move toward the studio, and close the distance fast. Then comes the moment everyone keeps replaying the move itself, and Gucci Mane's stunned reaction when he realizes exactly what just went down. That look says it all. Pure shock, disbelief, and instant understanding that the situation just flipped on him. This isn't grainy footage or blurry guesses either. This is the kind of clear, undeniable video that flips narratives overnight and sends the internet into a frenzy. It's the type of exclusive content that forces people to stop arguing about rumors and start debating consequences. Now the real question is on the table. What do you think about Shiesty's move and how Gucci handled the big scare situation? Was this justified payback for what some see as disrespect toward a fallen soldier? Or did it go way too far and cross a line that should never be crossed? This is one of those moments where opinions are split hard and there's no middle ground. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let it be known where you stand. And don't click away, because if you want more exclusive street news, behind the scenes, industry drama, and footage most platforms won't touch, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. More breaking stories are coming, and they're about to shake the entire hip-hop world. This Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty situation is just the opening chapter. The streets are buzzing, the industry is watching, and trust me, we're staying locked in and bringing every update as it drops.